Lindsay Lewis is a Southland dairy farmer who was never keen on existing methods of capturing, storing and using dairy effluent. So he designed a low-flow effluent distribution system that does away with the need for large storage ponds. The system is fully automated and designed to deliver effluent water back to the land at very low application rates.
I'm off a dairy farm, third generation dairying. I couldn't stand driving up the road and the smell of effluent every time you went round another corner from travelling irrigators. The huge amount of flack that dairy farmers were getting. Some of it was deserved, some of it wasn't. At the end of the day, if there's only one system to put it out with, then that's what you use. And if that's all you can use, well, what else can they really do? And that was the big problem. There was nothing out there that was really a low application system. The business is basically a dairy effluent system that doesn't require big ponds. That is a major point of difference. Because we can put effluent out at such a low rate, we can apply it 360 odd days of the year, so we don't need that storage requirement that you need for standard systems. Pretty much the system was developed out in the paddock first. That was what I developed first. And simplicity of it is, unless you put in massive pumps and massive pipes, you can only run about 20 to 24 K-line sprinklers at any one time. So to actually put out a super low application, you're shifting them every 5 minutes. And that was just not going to happen. So what I developed is a control box that basically switches from different groups of 24 pods. So that by the time you actually group through them, we run them for 7 minutes and then they turn off. And you run the next lot for 7 minutes, turns off, and so on. You can basically clean up all your effluent for the day and only put out 1/4 mil of application. The cost of this is a full turnkit unit. You know, you're getting your pumps, you're getting your control gear, you're getting your irrigators, you're getting your pond, you're getting your tanks, you're getting the green wash, you're getting the whole lot for about 2/3 of the price of actually just digging a hole in the ground. Normally we have the weeping wall, so that's actually gravity fed into it. Unfortunately here, because these guys are actually on a bit of a floodplain, don't get too much, but we decided we'd build it up a wee bit, so we actually pump it in. It runs from the bunker to the weeping wall. The weeping wall then filters out the solids, and once the solids are filtered out, through into the middle of the wall, because the wall is actually two-sided, and then it's pumped from the centre of the wall up into these tanks. The first tank is what we call a green wash tank, and it's got extra filters in it before it goes into our effluent distribution tanks. But the green wash tank will then pump up to our flood wash tank, or that'll be used for a backing gate and pumped across the backing gate. That's how we recycle. We're actually recycling fresh green water, which I think is very important because a lot of green wash is actually done on old effluent that's out of storage ponds. So it's gone from aerobic to anaerobic. And once you start putting anaerobic stuff on the yard, you've actually putting different bacteria on your yard. What's going on the yard here being fresh is actually the same as what's coming out of the cow. So it doesn't smell. You need to put in a weeping wall to clean it up so it's actually fit to go out through your irrigators. So what we're actually putting out as far as the liquid is a lot safer than what you would standard put out, but the solids are now full of all the organic nitrogen, so therefore it's a slow release fertiliser. So where before it was just a waste product, now it is a very valuable product, especially for crop paddocks and stuff like that, where you want a long, slow release over that year where your Swedes are growing or chow's growing or something like that. The whole system's designed around a 12-tonne digger. It'll take an hour to empty this. The biggest cost basically is the chuck wagons going out to actually spread it out across the land. What we try and get people to do is actually fill one side completely, roll the pipe over to the other side, give it a couple of months to dry out so it comes out very, very dry, and get it emptied out so you've always got plenty of storage in that wall. In terms of the pond size, they're always the same width, and we make them a different length for your herd size. So if you're looking at 1,000 cows, we look at about 40 metres in length. The nitrate levels are actually quite low in the liquid because we're holding back all the sludges. Now, it was always thought that nitrogen flowed with liquid, but what we've actually proven with this system is it actually can be locked up in the sludges. Because we're holding back all the sludges, our nitrogen levels are actually extremely low going to the paddock. This really is the system. The fact that we can run different zones for a set length of time gives us our super low application here, 1/4 millimetre. I mean, this was what I designed for starters. And then everything back at the shed with the weeping wall was to give me a clean enough product to actually guarantee this system was actually going to keep operating. This is a standard K-line pod made by RX Plastics. This one's a green one because they make green ones for me. We've also developed a non-drip valve with Anchor Products and through RX as well to actually stop dripping once the pump stopped. If you've got a ground as different heights from one pod to the next, you'll actually get everything to drain out. So these actually hold that liquid in the pipe, so they're a fail-safe within themselves.
We just sort of looked around one or two different farms and we liked the clean green system with Lindsay. It's got no smell, we haven't got travelling irrigators we have to shift all the time. We approached Lindsay and he's very helpful and got us on the right track. A friend of ours had water quality testing system installed, and using the clean green system, the water quality was better running out of his farm than what it was running into his farm above him. Definitely a big time saver, because when we're on the mini pods, on the fringes, and when we're busy, we don't have to go near them. We've got clean 3 brushes every day in the tanks, and it's a 5-minute job. Now, it saves us at least 3/4 of an hour a day hosing down with freshwater hoses when we just use the green water washdown system.
80–90% of our work has been existing sheds, come up for consent, needed to renew. Council's saying, well, you must do a big pond, and they've come to us and say, we'd like your system, can you do this instead? It's taken a long time, but hopefully that'll all come together very shortly when Pastoral 21, which is a report from Ag Research, comes out to actually prove what we're doing is 100% safe. Some people say I'm stubborn. None to your mind was saying the other day, everyone else would have given up. I don't know why Lindsay hasn't, but when you've got a baby like this that you believe is actually uniquely doing something for the world, because there's nothing else out there that's actually environmentally friendly like this is. So I still believe I'm actually doing something for the world. And I mean, there's not many people can say when they finally finish up that I have actually made a difference.
This program was made with funding from New Zealand On Air.